What's up, guys? So testing Warzone again, this time at 1440p with the RX 6700 XT, and we're also going to test RSR, so 1080p upscaling to 1440p, just to see if we can hit into the super high refresh rate numbers. And right now we're at native 1440, you can see we're getting about 170 FPS indoors, but this is in the warm-up. We have to wait till we actually drop in. The real FPS is obviously a little bit lower when the full-on match is occurring. And you can see the best match I could find, like I was actually searching for a bit. I've got packet loss, it's at 113 ms. It's hard for me to get a low ping match. Maybe there's just not as many people playing where I am, you know, or whatever server it's connecting me through. I'm set it to Asia, Japan, which should have the best ping, but packet loss. So PLDT maybe, I don't know, it could be congestion hours. Something is giving me packet loss.
Resurgence.
It's pretty bad.
Set a drop point for your team, soldier.
But yeah, I'll just show you the native performance first. So you can see this is at native 1440p, and we run around 140 FPS. Like 144 Hz is very doable with the RX 6700 XT and 5600X. And I am running competitive settings, but with AA turned up, just because it looks way, you know, you don't want aliasing distracting your eyes, because your brain has to filter out the aliasing when spotting movement, and that can actually get you killed and slow down your reaction time. But I will also turn AA down just so that you can see what the frame rate's like. If you're really, like, if you can manage to play with aliasing everywhere and the movement of edges shimmering everywhere, then I mean, good for you, and I'll test that for you guys that want maximum FPS. Like maybe you're running a 165 Hz monitor and you just want to see what the RX 6700 XT can do when not running EA on. What? He was in here, like, whatever. Well, I guess he wasn't hacking. I thought there was someone in here, but I was like, oh no, maybe they ran off and they closed the door behind. That's funny. So yeah, it looks like we're holding average 158 FPS. That is really good for native 1440p with AA turned on. So if that's your FPS, like if your refresh rate's in that range, definitely doable. And then we'll turn the AA down, and you can also double check my settings, you know, make sure that I've set it to competitive. We're at 1440p. I'm only on a 100 Hz monitor, so, you know, that's why I don't really care about high refresh rate. But for the sake of testing, for you guys that are planning on upgrading your GPU or CPU, you can see what this setup can do. And yeah, competitive settings except for particle quality, because it does look really horrible on low. Like, you can see the image difference. So anyway, we're going to turn this down to SMA 1X.
I'm under fire.
What? They were just standing there. Jeez, I thought my teammates might have came up with me, but clearly not. And we're going to look at the FPS just from going to SMA 1X, where I think we're up a little bit. A more consistent 140 plus. And you can see the GPU usage is also at 99%, so we are still GPU bottlenecking, which means RSR is very promising for... Oh, we're even at like 160 FPS. It's a different part of the map. That's the only annoying thing, is when I'm testing for you guys, if I'm in a different part of the map when I drop in, I mean, I guess it's still Rebirth in general, so you can use that average, you know, 164 with the AA turned down a little bit. And given that we are still GPU bottlenecked, it will make more of a difference when you're GPU bound to turn the AA down. That was some snappy aimer movement. Okay, and I just want to make this quick because, you know, the matches aren't that long. Maybe I'll have to do two separate matches, one for RSR and one for off, and you can just switch between them. And I'll timestamp it, but I want to turn the AA down even further to off, just to see if, because we were GPU bound, if we get another 10 FPS or so, which it looks like we're getting. We went from about 165, but I got to get closer to the middle area of the map. Packet loss though.
You got gas inbound.
Who's shooting me and where? Ah. The packet loss, dude. Like, I'm aiming and these bullets are hitting me like where I can't even, you know you can feel when you're being shot?
Make your way to the target.
It feels so broken. Anyway, 176 average, and I have been resetting the counter whenever I've changed the settings and dropped in. And I think we're in a very safe FPS range, even at 2 times AA. For pushing a 200 Hz monitor once I enable RSR. Like, I'm fairly confident. You could simply turn to SMAA 1x and you'd probably hit your refresh rate target, frame rate target. Especially indoors. I mean, look at this. Alrighty. So now we're going to go to RSR mode. And I will switch it back to the highest possible, we'll start at the highest possible AA value that you might want to use. Not Filmic though, because that gets too blurry. And just to show you the frame rate in here, we're at 160, moving around because the player's moving around on the map. Around 170 FPS, okay? At 1440p. And then when we switch to 1080p, which should automatically enable RSR, we go from 170 FPS to 190 FPS. And this is at SMAA E2A.
Enemy UAV active.
So very good. Unfortunately, I can't benefit from the input latency reduction because I'm on 100 Hz, which really sucks. Like, I do want to get a 200 Hz 1080 ultra-wide 1080p monitor because that would be much better for competitive gaming. Oh, this gun, no, I don't like it. Would have been better off with my pistol. But just so you can see, 190 FPS, and we also have to confirm RSR is working, so we're gonna just look at some leaves or something, and I'm gonna turn it off, Alt-U, and yeah, they got noticeably blurrier, and I'll turn it back on, and yeah, they sharpen up. So, off, on.
Enemy is here.
Hopefully you can see that. This is going to be uploaded in the highest quality I can. Off. Yeah, the leaves all get blurry. On.
Hostile dropping
Off.
into the area. Watch
On.
the skies.
Off. And look at the chimneys in the back. On. They sharpen up. Off. On. Oh, that got me killed. So hard to test in this game though. Like, just because I can't go offline with bots or in a training mode or anything like that, because then it changes the frame rate. But at the very least, you can see what kind of frame rates we're getting, and this is with T2X. Hopefully, we can still push a little bit longer, but as well, the dynamics of... I might have to do another run, because the dynamic of the map shrinking also affects frame rate. So what you're seeing now is a closed circle frame rate, not necessarily a starting circle frame rate. So I might have to do one more test and just combine it together to give you the big picture. Go away. Go away, go away, go away. Bring in the contract. Oh, wait. But I mean, even with T2X, like, you can look at this frame rate, like, the 200 Hz users might be the only ones pushing to turn the AA down, but if you get this kind of frame rate and you're running like 165 Hz, you're pretty golden for this map with RSR. I mean, even on native, it was already enough for 165 Hz, I think. We were hitting 170 FPS at native resolution.
Enemy is here.
At full 1440p. But RSR still, I mean, this is 1080p upscaled, and it still looks pretty damn decent.
Supply box ready for pickup. Enemy dropping into the AO. Gas is right on your tail.
Got contact.
Looking for armor. Ah, it's like a whole squad was there. Right. I can still turn this down. We've just got a few moments left. I will do another run with RSR only, so you can see the higher frame rates for the whole map. But you can at least see. Can we spectate someone? Yeah, when I turned the AA down to 1x, we were at a solid 200. Wait, no, it's still going down. Because he went long view distance. I think indoors and close quarter, medium to short range will be solid 200, where it matters the most anyway. Like, when you're sniping, it's not as big a deal, I think.
Located a supply box. Secure that position. This is the end game. Resurgence has been turned off. Get to the new safe zone. Gas is closing in.
Be sure they're literally above me.
Enemy UAV active.
Oh, yeah, well, I knew he was there. He was up. They were up on the thing. And sorry if the volume's a bit low. I literally turned my volume all the way down to 10 so that I can actually talk and hear myself rather than be drowned out by the game noise. Yeah, 180 FPS, 200 FPS on the roof. The 1% lows are really good. But I think the packet loss may be affecting the frame rate to some degree. Because when you get packet loss, you know, it's actually delaying the frames because it has to catch up. It's missing server information. So I can't really do much about that right now. I might have to do another test in the near future. So personally, I would not go by the 0.1 and 1% because of the packet loss. But you can at least get an idea, you know, the average, what kind of performance you can expect. Probably worst case scenario due to the packet loss. So like at least 198 average or so. I just reset the counter.
Taking shots. Bounty target is up. Take him down.
Through the... What? Did he just teleport through the door? Or was that someone else dropping in front of me? I want to see this. The heck? Yeah, that was the packet loss working against me. And lastly, this won't really matter as much because as you can see, like, this is why there's no point turning the AA down much further than this, is because we are not consistently holding 98%. It might help a little bit on the 1% lows, but I was seeing it going down like 85 in medium range. So then you're not even benefiting from the full power of the GPU at certain ranges because it's CPU and memory bound. The teammate's gonna carry us. Oh, they did carry me. I'm just like not pulling my weight here, testing stuff. Alright, whatever. We'll do another test because I gotta turn AA all the way down. It was still hitting 100% here and there, so. Alright, I'll just clip this so you'll just see it jump into the next match. Okay, so now we're dropping back in to a fresh match and AA is off, so this is full competitive and we're going to slowly work it backwards. We're going to increase the AA values throughout the match. So you can just see here, 1080p upscaling to 1440 with RSR. Everything's disabled and AA is off for now. Just so you can see what it looks like.
Rush to the safe zone. You got gas closing in fast.
Right,
Fallen allies will redeploy as long as you remain alive.
Hopefully I don't get packet loss in this one. Oh no, I still get a little bit. I don't know if it's a server or if it's PLDT.
Targets are up. Take them out.
Hope I don't instantly die here. Because I think they're in here. 5 bullets, really?
Squad member is redeploying. Enemy UAV active. Enemy UAV active. Let's get it.
Target marked. Hit him now.
Got your request. Cluster strike is active.
What gun am I using? What is that? The burst fire pistol, damn it. But yeah, you can see 180 FPS, even with AA off. So if I turn, if we just find a spot where our teammate's just camping somewhere, I'll at least just turn it off to make sure RSR is functioning correctly. Look at all that aliasing on the metal grill. I think just for the visual distraction alone, it is worth running at least 1 times AA. And as you can see, our GPU usage is not being fully utilized, where CPU or... Oh, damn it. Seriously? We are definitely limited elsewhere in the system. So we're just missing out, basically. You're missing out on the AA benefit for a very little FPS boost. I think it's actually very close, considering it's the start of the match this time. It is actually very close just to have 1 times AA versus off for this setup. Because you can see it's not holding 99%. It's on 97, 96. I mean, it's close, but the spikes to 99 are brief at best.
One of your allies is back in the game. One of your allies is back in the game. Gas is moving.
Try to play for a bit. What is that?
Enemy UAV active.
Just like some kind of bomb? What the heck is that? What does it do? Just make smoke.
We're inside a circle. Stock up, get set.
Yeah, just look at the usage though. Unless I'm looking at really long range, and even then, we're at 88%. So apart from like first dropping in, where it's a little bit higher, it seems to stabilize around 80 rather than 99%. So AA off is just adding distractions to your game, to your image quality. Like you can see all the aliasing here. But we'll double check that it's on. So if we just look at this crate, RSR disabled, RSR enabled. And you should see that all sharpen up and get blurry. So disabled, enabled. Just so you can see that. Hopefully it's obvious. Like I can tell that it's enabled for sure.
Some machine guns looking lonely. Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
It's a good gun. It's a problem when you stop playing and they have so many updates and they've released hundreds of weapons. I just don't know what's what anymore. That's why I suck so bad.
25 remain. Solid work so far.
Packet loss is a little bit better on this match at least. Maybe it's the server, I don't know.
An enemy team is hunting you. Don't become prey.
And yeah, there's people on the roof.
Enemy UAV
Hostiles in the air. Forget that. Disregard. Hostiles in the area. Hostiles in the area.
I'm just waiting for that snipe noise. Where are my teammates? I'm not dying down here, are they? Oh,
payback confirmed.
damn.
Enemy UAV
It's a decent gun. Felt good.
Allied precision airstrike incoming. Be aware. Squad member is redeploying.
Yeah, even indoors, like 81%. It's just okay. Wait, gotta find a safe spot.
UAV active.
We're just gonna go back up now slowly in AA, just to be more worthwhile, and you can actually just see how the usage changes. So SMA 1x and how the visual quality improves.
Enemy UAV active.
This is actually good. Like I'm getting a good view distance here for that kind of frame rate, more long distance frame rate. And then I can go straight indoors and give you that medium range.
Enemy precision airstrike. Stay alert. Enemy UAV active.
Hostiles in the area.
One of your allies is back in the game.
Yeah, I love anything.
Enemy hunters lost
Go
your
for
trail.
strike.
You're safe.
This is Phoenix 3. Strike inbound.
Oh, I actually got someone.
Hostile spotted.
Oh. Oh, two.
Enemy
What the heck?
marked.
Good effect on target.
This is really campy, but you know. Yes, that's.
Marked a good spot.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone. Fire sale is active.
See, now we're sitting in a much more
Hostiles in the
consistent 98%. And what about indoors again? I wasn't staring at it, to be honest. I was just looking at the frame rate, not the usage. Still 80 indoors, so, you know, I guess that's the best we can hope for because indoors is less intensive.
There's their rally point.
Allied UAV overhead. Hunt them down. Resurgence is about to end.
Please hit that.
Keep your head on a swivel. Fire sales done. Prices are back to normal.
Trying to cover my teammates. It is hard. I am on an ultra-wide 34-inch monitor, and this image, like, if I crop it, it gets too small because it's not like a 27-inch monitor. And if I force it to per pixel type of aspect ratio, it messes with RSR's functionality. Like it doesn't always work when I press the hotkey, so I have to have it on full screen, stretched out.
We're inside a circle. Stock up, get set.
There's their rally point. Tracking them.
Hostiles dropping into the area. That'll teach them to mess with your squad.
Watch, bring up.
10 remain. 50 in reach. Squad mates are all KIA. Keep fighting until they redeploy. One of your allies is back in the game.
It's above me.
Hostiles in the area.
Reinforcements are on the way. This is the end game. Resurgence has been turned off.
Ah, two of them. Ah.
Reinforcements are on the way.
Came in the window and the thing at the same time. Oh no, he jumped around. Oh well. So yeah, maybe T2X would just be sacrificed. If you're on 165 Hz, you'll have better 1% lows running RSR anyway. So if you're not trying to push towards 200 FPS, then there's still a little bit of headroom to try and maximize the GPU a little bit more. Short of getting a stronger CPU, like because it does, Warzone does scale with 5800 and 5950X, 5900X. But this is more 160. Yeah, or maybe the frame rate's even better at certain spots because the GPU's holding that boost clock a little bit more stably. If that's a word.
Boy, found an aid station.
Anyway, we'll just watch my teammate carry us to victory. It'll actually be interesting because I watch these videos back before I upload them, right? And because it's upscaling to 1440p, the recording quality video when I watch it in VLC player actually goes to the proper aspect ratio of 1440p, like it's not stretched out the way it is on my monitor. So I can actually see the image quality differences a lot better than when I'm testing in person. for what it would look like if I was on an actual native 1440p monitor anyway. I think I've seen this gun being used a lot, but what was that? Was that a sniper rifle? It's got tapped. Or it was tacked off, I don't know.
Return to base for debrief.
Anyway guys, hopefully this testing helps you out if you're curious about the 6700 XP performance. I might try the other mode in a separate video if you're interested in Rebirth payload. I don't know if there's going to be an FPS difference. I mean, it's still Rebirth Island, but maybe it's because of the different dynamics of the map, it might actually have a different FPS, but it's only a limited run. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.